Christopher says, what happens when the Lord is ignored? What happens when the Lord is ignored? The world is worse off for it. The world is worse off for it. And I'll go so far as to say, it's like, well, grandma's in the room. Oh, well, thanks. Well, we didn't ignore her. We brought her along, but nobody's listening to her stories. Nobody's listening to her ideas. Nobody's listening to her words. Nobody's listening to her complaints. So even though she's in the room, we're ignoring what it is she says to us. I think that's kind of where we are sometimes as a Christian church. Yeah, we've definitely invited God in, but we ain't listening anymore. We know that God is in the room. We want God in the room. We want God to know that we see you, and we want God to know that God's important enough for us to invite them. But when it comes to actually listening to what God has to say about our lives, I don't think we're paying attention. And we're worse off for it. We're worse off as a society for it because we do things like cut benefits to the poor. We do things like harm people who are just trying to get by. We do things like ignoring the plight of people who are trying to escape authoritarianism and tyranny and violence and persecution. These are all things that God asks of us quite clearly to be very aware of and to be engaged in. And if all we do is just acknowledge God's presence in the room, but we ignore all the things that God says to us about how we should live this life, we are poorer off for it. We are worse off for it.